Good morning. Close to noon. Nevertheless, hello everyone. Listen, I want to do a quick video on a subject matter that has been pressing in my soul, pressing in my spirit, that I wanted to just do a little snippet on. It was a subject matter that we discussed at the January seminar, January From Soul Pieces to Soul Peace seminar. The theme of that particular seminar was addressing the threat and inside job. Oftentimes when it comes to addressing anybody, we receive that from the notion of going to someone, approaching someone whom we deem are a threat. And a lot of times we don't have any qualms about addressing someone else. However, when we are a threat to ourselves, then that becomes the problem. That takes, for lack of a better word, some gumption that we are not quite ready to acknowledge that we have. And so to address ourselves is a whole nother beast in and of itself. But nevertheless, that was the theme of that particular seminar, of January seminar. And one particular subject matter, which was eloquently done by a speaker by the name of Mrs. Glenda Allen. If you are in or around the Tallahassee area and you need someone, you need a presenter, please look her up. She is on Facebook. She's excellent at what she does. However, her topic matter was the expiration of procrastination. Almost couldn't get that out. The expiration of procrastination. For one, I want you all to know how practical our seminars are. If you follow the From Soul Pieces to Soul Peace page in any capacity, then you know that I have mentioned how we've been described as the church without the makeup. Having conversations, addressing conversations, having candid dialogue about subject matter that cannot or is not discussed at length in church settings. This is no dig at church. Perhaps that's not the setting for some of these things to be discussed at length. Nevertheless, at the From Soul Pieces to Soul Peace seminar, that is what we do. And one of these particular matters, as I just stated, was procrastination. I know all of us have had to deal with procrastination in some form or fashion. It doesn't matter what title you may have attached to your name, the alphabet soup that may be following your name, it doesn't matter. We've all procrastinated in some form or fashion here or there. But I wanted to discuss that because procrastination is the enemy to the soul. It is the enemy to progress. It is the enemy to achieving goals, visions, dreams, any of that. And sometimes we take it lightly. Procrastination will say to us, you've got time. You don't have to do it right now. It can wait. And we have no idea what the next moment. We won't even get into days, weeks, or year, but what the next moment holds for us. And the fact that we procrastinate on an unction that we've been given, we procrastinate on an idea that has dropped into our lap, or the fact that we procrastinate, period, when there is the urgency to do something right now. We procrastinate. We miss out on valuable moments, valuable progress. We miss out on making someone's life so much easier because we reason within our own mind that I got time. They don't need it right now. I don't have to do this right now. I can always wait till tomorrow. And oftentimes, if we don't move on stuff when it is dropped in our lap, when the spirit urges you, when your spirit is percolating about doing something right now, if we don't move on it, then you might not get that passion back at a later moment. The grace to complete a task may not present itself again as it did at that moment when we allow ourselves to be talked out of what we're doing because we choose to procrastinate, because what we're doing right now we deem is more important than what we are urged to do, because we're resting right now and I need my rest, because This is my off day and I don't plan on doing anything on my off day. So we choose to procrastinate because this person doesn't like me and I'm not going up to them. And we choose to procrastinate. It's the enemy to progress. And we look at it as though it's nothing. That's because we almost look for the opportunity, or we look for a reason to procrastinate on some things when we should not. I didn't want to be on here very long about this. I just wanted to give you a few pointers that Mrs. Allen shared with us during this seminar. How to stop procrastinating. One, establish your goals. What is your procrastination problem? That's going to require some self-examination, some true self-examination. Remember, this is between nobody but you and you. Be honest with you, because if you cannot be honest with anybody else, surely you can be honest with yourself. What is your procrastination problem? Create a plan of action. I would go as far as saying get a pen, pencil, piece of paper, use your phone, and create a plan, something that can be before your eye gates on a regular basis, something that that will act as a reminder. Personally, I need reminders. I have reminders in my phone, and I use a planner, and I do extensive note taking in my planner because I'm subject to forget. We cannot any longer use the fact that I'm busy as to why we forget things, how we often forget things. You know what? That's why there are many tools available for you to make notes. Create a plan of action. And last but not least, implement that plan of action. If you're going to go through all of this to write down a plan, put it in your phone as a reminder, set alerts on your phone, set alert on your artificial intelligence devices at home, because I use all of those too. If you're going to do all that and then you don't implement your plan of action, you're wasting time, and you have totally accepted this spirit of procrastination. Here are a couple of anti-procrastination techniques. Prioritize your task. Some things that we deem should be here, they really don't deserve to be there. You can put those things down. You can knock those down a couple of pegs on your task list. Break down your task. Some tasks can be broken down into 2 or 3 tasks, 3 or 4 tasks, or whatever. But be intentional about your task. Be intentional about creating your task list, and then be intentional about breaking those tasks down to smaller tasks. Because if you establish a task that is very detailed and expect to get that done in one day, the chances are procrastination is going to ease its way back up in there somewhere, and you're not going to complete that task at all. So break your task down into smaller tasks. Don't overwhelm yourself. If we can get out of the mindset that I'm competing with the next person that's doing something similar to what I'm doing, or I need to get mine out before they get theirs out, if we can get past all that, we won't overwhelm ourselves. Listen, there are 24 hours in every single day for all of us, unless our soul is required of us. But there are 24 hours in the day for us. Break your task down to time frames. That's what I do. And don't forget to schedule in a break. It's not required that you utilize every single second in every single day, because if you don't implement self-care, then you're going to burn out. You're not going to get any task done, because if procrastination doesn't take you out, then sure, exhaustion will take you out. So don't overwhelm yourself by making it appear, convincing yourself, persuading yourself that you've got to do something every day, all day, because it is humanly impossible. It is. Remove all distractions. I am not in my home right now because these children are out of school, and in my home they are a distraction. So I'm out and about taking care of some things, and just decided to pull over and do this quick little PSA. Work when you are most productive. If you are tired and sleepy, you've worked a regular 9 to 5, 7 to 3, 8 to 4, whatever your schedule is, and then you come home in the evening and you decide you want to get on your goals, but you're exhausted because you've had a very productive day at work, or whatever your day consisted of, and you come home and think that you're going to get some work done, chances are you're not. Chances are you're not. So work when you are most productive, when you're fresh, when your day hasn't been pulling on you so much or pulling so much out of you. And if it's only for 1 hour, whatever time you set aside to work on your task, just make sure that time is productive. Remove the distractions, because if you have distractions there before you, then chances are you won't be productive. Create daily goals. I like that. Break your goals down into increments. Remember, I mentioned that, into time increments. That's exactly what I do with time increments. In the morning time when I wake up, I give myself sometimes 10, 15 minutes, or I give myself an allotted time. Let me say that. I use an allotted time for scrolling on Facebook, making my post, whatever I think is necessary for the From Sold Pieces to Sold Piece page, or my own personal page. But I give myself a set amount of time to do my social media thing before I actually get out of my bed and get my day moving. So create daily goals. Now that's how I start my day. Other than that, I have time frames to get thus and such done, and I try and follow that. Trust me, ask anybody that I communicate with. Anthony is a perfect person. Sometimes he'll call me that is not scheduled, and I'm so adamant about getting tasks done. When he calls me, if he wants to talk, I tell him right up front, listen, I'm on a schedule. I can't talk long. And so you don't see the gist in it, or in this, or the humor in this. But when he knows that I'm on a schedule, he'll start talking really fast and we'll start laughing so he can get all of his information out, because he knows he only has a few minutes on the phone to converse with me, because I'm trying to get some tasks completed for that day. So create daily goals. Reward yourself. Whatever you deem your reward should be, if that's additional rest time or whatever, what is most important to do to you, reward yourself. Focus on the goal and not the task. Oftentimes, the task that you need to do to obtain the goal can be strenuous. It can be difficult. It can require a lot out of you. And because we focus on the task that we have to complete in order to reach the goal, that wears us out mentally sometimes. And so when we utilize that, when we are task oriented, sometimes that's a way for procrastination to come in then and tell us, you know what, don't do it today. You got too much going on today. This is too much in one day. I mean, it's already 1 o'clock. So there's no reason for you to get started on that. Listen, be goal oriented. Handle those tasks. Make those tasks. Utilize everything that I've mentioned prior to this one. And this is the last one I'm going to mention. Visualize your future. I use this tactic often because there are moments that within myself, I just don't feel like I can go any further creatively. My thoughts have stopped. They've become stagnant. I can't think of anything. And I know what my goal is. I know my goal is to offer some variety with these seminars, to do something different, the presentation to be different. I don't want it to be mundane. I don't want it to look like any other organization or empowerment, because there are a lot of empowerment seminars that are going on. So I don't want mine to look like everybody else's. And so when the ideas stop flowing, I become frustrated. But I have to visualize what it is that I want to see. And when I can visualize what I want to see, this is removing everybody else and everything else. Sometimes I have to step away. I have to step away from what I'm doing, step away from my computer, step away from my phone, step away from conversations, just step away from life, basically. Outside influences. Visualize what it is I'm trying to do. Reward myself with extra time away, grab me something to eat, take a ride, this, that, or the other, change the scenery. All these things are stimulants for me. And so when I do that and then get back to my workstation, then the ideas begin to flow. Of course, when I visualize what it is I'm trying to do, what my goal is. My point to this video, and it's been 14 minutes, I'm going to make sure it stops at 15. I don't go over 15 minutes. My point is, listen, procrastination is an enemy. It's an enemy to our goals. It's an enemy to our future. It's an enemy to our drive. We can no longer allow procrastination to dictate to us what we're going to do, when we're going to do it. So today, you declare, if procrastination has has been a problem for you, you declare today is the expiration of procrastination. Thank you for watching. If you have not subscribed to our page, fsptsp.org, please do so, and do me a favor, tell your friends about it too. Thank you, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.